This week has been tough. Now, little did I know, just over a week ago when I started this vlog journey, as I'm doing my 30 days of carnivore, that things would happen in Israel and there would be a war declared. Now, I haven't wanted to talk about this on here. I just didn't want to bring the mood down, I suppose, but just being real, that it's horrible. It's just, as much as we try not get too sucked into things that are around the world that are out of our control, which just creates for me a sense of helplessness and distress, knowing that other people are hurting and losing their lives. And so I actually stopped watching the news many years ago in order to protect my mind over things that I had no control over, and for people that I care about, even though I don't know them, but they're people. So it's just been tough, and my thoughts and my prayers are with all the people that are hurting, have lost their lives, their families have been captured, and who are losing their homes, just everyone, just so that. So whilst I haven't wanted to dwell or think about that, that has affected me, and I'm sure many of you as well. And this comes at a price of this really interconnected world. Like, I don't know where you're listening from, but I'm pretty sure you're not in my living room right now. But we're so connected now, and that's amazing. But it comes with this downside of where we hear about so many people's pain and trauma, that if you're somebody that has a heart, which I'm sure most of you, all of you do, I'm sure that it affects you in some way. And so my processing this week has been, I haven't just wanted to come on here and talk about my diet and this, that and the other when I know that all these things are happening. So what I've come to the conclusion of, and is something that I knew before but I had to process it again this week, is that no matter what is going on in the world, that does not give me an excuse, let's say, to not look after my own wellness, my own health. That's something that's so important, because if I don't look after my own health, then that will just become a burden to other people. For example, I will end up needing to use healthcare facilities more. I will need to lean on people around me more. And I just want to be in as best shape as I can be so that I can help other people when they need it. And sometimes we go through different seasons and different times when it's really, we're just digging deep. We're just paddling. We might look like swans on the upright, we smile, we say, oh, I'm fine. But actually inside, or below the surface, we're paddling like crazy just to keep afloat. One of the reasons I'm now doing this carnivore challenge is because I've been looking into, I've been researching, my husband's given me first-hand evidence that when he did carnivore, he was in a healing season. I want to come into a place where I'm in the best shape possible to look after my family, my friends, my community. I haven't really been on form this last year since having my amazing son. It's been really tough, and I've had to change my life in so many ways. And this was actually one of the big reasons why it came to a head. I realised, oh gosh, I do have this sugar addiction. So I was hiding food. I was eating in the kitchen on the sly. He would be like wanting me when he was maybe like, I don't know, 6-7 months. And then I'd go in the kitchen, quickly stuff my face with whatever, come back in and pretend like try and shoot like that. So he wouldn't look at me and think, oh, what's mummy got? I want that too. Because I knew what I was eating was bad for him. I wasn't going to give that crap to him. It was like 4-pack of 12s was one of the things I used to get quite a lot. And for a while, we've had different fridges, me and my husband. Like, one was a big fridge, one was a small fridge. So the small fridge I kind of used just for my bits, and I used to keep the chocolate in there just so that he didn't know. But I was ashamed. I wanted to hide it because I knew what I was doing wasn't good for me, wasn't helping me, but I felt it was helping me in the moment. So that real emotional connection to food, thinking that that was my lean on, that was my crutch when I was just dealing with all the change of becoming a new mum. And I don't know about you, but for me, change is quite very stressful. I need to plan things, and if I can't plan things, or I make a plan it goes slightly differently, I have to really just dig deep. And again, I'm that swan, I'm that classic person. I'm British, I'm like, I'm fine, I don't need help. I won't reach out. And people, you know, especially when you've had a baby, they say, just call us if you need help. And I'm like, I'm fine. You know, other people need a more kind of mentality. And well, that's true also. There are so many people that do need help. And I just think, well, if I can just keep going, if I can just dig deep, you know, and all of this. And so you do. And you kind of like get to this place of like normalizing what is maybe not fine, but you go, it is fine. So you've normalized it and you've named it. And then that becomes your reality. And that's a little bit like where I am today. So I don't know what is my actual normal self if I'm eating nutrient-dense, real food, and I'm doing this by eating purely animal products. Maybe at first, maybe for a longer time. My initial 30 days may continue, I don't know yet. But one of the reasons is to cleanse my system so that I can get back to a baseline, and then I can start adding things back in to see if I am still fine. Because maybe all these autoimmune conditions and allergies and fatigue and irritableness, maybe that's not my normal. Maybe that has been my normal, but maybe that's not my optimum. Let's put it that way. So that's definitely one reason why I am cleansing, I'd say. This is my 14th day doing just animal products, which I'm pleased to say, apart from one tiny bit of cucumber at the beginning, I have managed to keep to. And that is despite feeling emotionally like I wanted to eat this week for comfort. And bless my husband, I was able to lean on him. If anyone's doing or trying to do something drastic, well, I think it's drastic, like changing your entire diet when you're stressed. To me, in my head, that's just way too big. My diet is my stability. That's the thing that I like to get constant. You know, when everything's changing, when everything feels out of control, when things are out of control in society or around the world, at least my diet's the same. My health might not be good or the best, but it's the same and it's stable. And so I can rely on eating those feeds, and I know how my body's going to feel. Maybe I'm going to get tummy ache or this or that, but I know it's comforting. So for me to go ahead and change my diet in such a drastic way, I think is a big thing. And maybe some of you also think that as well. It's taken me 2 years to get to this point where I have felt in an emotionally stable enough place, or not just emotionally stable, but things not changing too much in my world in order to just take this plunge. And having community, like people say that, don't they? Having community is so important, and I'm so grateful. My husband has done this journey before, so he can say, no, that's normal. But I'm also binging watching other people that have done carnivore diets and the effects that they have. So I just want to say, for me, I am not doing the carnivore diet for my weight alone. I'm not saying that's not one of the reasons, but it's not my weight alone. I am doing this carnivore diet because I want to know what are the ways that I'm not in my optimum health. I want to make choices and do actions in order to get myself into a metabolically healthy state. And that is one of the things that people say. It's about your metabolic health, and in a different vlog I'm going to go into that a little bit more about what I mean by that and what other people mean. So but I'm trying to get metabolically healthy. I'm really chuffed to be able to give 3 effects that I have found. Today I was just feeling my hair and I thought, oh my goodness, it's so soft. And my hair's, I've got quite a lot of it, but it's not necessarily that soft. It's a little bit more coarser. But it's like my sister's hair. My sister always had lovely hair, and I used to stroke it when I was young, much to her annoyance. But it's soft like hers. So that was one big change. The other one is that around my tummy, belly button, I call it. I measure 2 places on my my body, my waist, which is the smallest part of my torso, and then around my belly button, which is the bit that gets really big in pregnancy. So I've lost an inch off of that in 2 weeks. And now when I try and push my stomach out as hard as I can, because often you can suck it in, push it out. I used to love doing that, in, out, but I'm pushing it out as much as I can, and I'm still lost an inch. Normally when I'm measuring, I'm a little bit like, well, don't suck it in, because you don't want fake measurements, but you don't want to be like at the worst. So that's a definite inch in 2 weeks. And that just makes me think, because I've only lost 5 pounds on the scale, which is probably water weight, but it just makes me think, what else is going on inside my tummy, the positive changes that are happening to my body. And it's just nice to have some external markers of changes, because I know change is happening. And my weight has stayed static now for over a week. So that's not happening anymore. So it's just nice that there's other changes. So I know I'm making choices to get healthier. So yeah, I suppose that's been very reassuring. So I think I just want to go back to looking after our wellness. It is sometimes difficult. If you're someone who's particularly empathetic, or if you're a highly sensitive person, you care about people, any of those things that you want to class yourself as, you've got a heart, there we go, you're alive and you've got a heart, and you care about other people's suffering. Sometimes it's really difficult to focus and look after yourself, because there's always someone to help, always somebody that needs not necessarily our help, but help. And we think, oh, well, can I help? But sometimes we need to just step back and take time, look after ourselves, because in the long run, we will then be able to look after those around us. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to end on that, whether you use the word self-care or just looking after yourself, because you, whoever you are important. I just want to tell you that today. Okay, you matter. So please, if you take away anything from today, just know that you matter, your health matters, and sometimes it's okay to focus on that and get yourself into the best possible shape that you can. So that's it for today, and hopefully we'll do another vlog at some point. Okay, bye-bye.